In this video, we'll explore 7 Stoic-inspired questions designed to sharpen your thinking, rewire your mindset, and reshape how you move through life. If you reflect on them deeply, they won't just make you smarter, they'll make you stronger, calmer, and harder to break. So, without further ado, let's get started. 1. What's in my control right now? What can I control in this moment? Not tomorrow, not next week, not in some perfect future where everything goes your way. Just now, in this moment, what can I actually influence? It's a simple question, but it can cut through chaos like a blade. Because most people burn their energy trying to control the uncontrollable, other people's opinions, outcomes they can't predict, emotions they haven't processed. They spiral, react, and drown in things they were never meant to carry. But not you. You step back. You pause. You return to what's yours. Your breath, your response, your attitude, your next decision. That's the only power you've ever really had. And it's more than enough. Because when you put your energy into what's in your control, you start to build momentum. You stop blaming and start becoming. This question is more than just a grounding tool. It's a habit, a compass, a way of thinking that brings you back to center every time the world pulls you off track. And every time you ask it, you reclaim your strength, not by dominating life, but by mastering your response to it. 2. Is this aligned with my values? This question is brutally underrated because success means nothing if it costs your soul. You could win the game and lose yourself in the process. Deep down, you already know what matters to you. Integrity, honesty, discipline, kindness, loyalty, peace. The real challenge is staying loyal to those values when compromise would be easier. So before you make that decision, take that shortcut or say those words, pause, ask, is this aligned or is it just convenient? Because convenience is cheap. But when you live by your values, even when no one's watching, even when it costs you something, you build something unshakable. You earn trust. You earn peace. Most importantly, you earn the right to look in the mirror and respect the person staring back. Live in alignment, and no matter where you end up, you'll never regret who you became along the way. 3. Am I reacting or responding? The difference might seem small, but it's everything. Reacting is fast, emotional, automatic. It's that sharp reply you regret. That decision made out of fear, anger, or ego. Reacting doesn't ask questions, it just fires back. But responding, that's different. Responding is intentional, it's thoughtful. It's when you feel the emotion rise and choose not to let it take the wheel. Every time you pause before speaking, before acting, before letting emotion carry you away, you gain strength, real strength, because that pause is where your power lives. It's the space where wisdom steps in and says, wait, is this how I want to show up? The world will give you plenty of reasons to react. People will push your buttons. Situations will tempt your worst instincts. But the person who can pause, even for a second, is the person who leads themselves, who doesn't just survive life but shapes it. Reacting is easy, responding is mastery, and that mastery, it's built one pause at a time. 4. Is this temporary or permanent? Most people don't realize how important this question is because in the heat of the moment, most problems feel massive, permanent, all-consuming. Your mind zooms in on the discomfort, the fear, the setback, and suddenly it feels like this is how life will always be. But the truth, most of it passes. Most storms aren't forever, they're just loud. That's why you have to zoom out, widen the lens. Will this moment matter in a year, in 5? Or is it just one of those passing chapters, uncomfortable now, but soon forgotten? Pain shrinks when you hold it up to time, because time shows you what really matters and what doesn't. Perspective isn't denial, it's wisdom. It doesn't pretend everything's fine. It simply reminds you that everything changes. that this too is just a page in your story, not the whole book. And when you truly see that, peace starts to return, not because the problem disappeared, but because it stopped owning you. So the next time you feel overwhelmed, pause and ask, is this forever, or is this just for now? 5. What pain am I avoiding? People don't realize how important it is to accept pain, not to punish yourself, but to set yourself free. Because here's the truth, avoiding discomfort doesn't protect you, it traps you. The more you dodge the hard conversations, the unresolved emotions, the honest self-reflection, the heavier they become. They follow you in silence, shaping your decisions, limiting your growth, stealing your peace. The Stoics didn't chase pain, but they didn't run from it either. They leaned into it, not because they enjoyed suffering, but because they understood something deeper. On the other side of pain is progress. Behind discomfort is clarity. Growth doesn't hide in comfort zones. It hides in the things you don't want to look at. So what are you avoiding? A difficult truth? An apology you owe? A boundary you haven't set? Whatever it is, it's already costing you energy. Because what you avoid ends up controlling you. But what you face, that's where freedom begins. Pain is not the enemy. Avoidance is. And asking this question, honestly and often, might be the bravest thing you ever do. Because the story you tell yourself shapes your emotional world. It colors how you see the past, what you expect from the future, and how you show up in the present. So choose your story carefully. Not with delusion, but with wisdom. You may not control the event, but you do control the lens. And in that choice lies the power to suffer or to grow. 6. What can I learn from this? You should always learn from what happened to you, not why it happened to you, but what it's here to teach you, because every failure is feedback, every setback a mirror, every loss a lesson in disguise. You don't have to pretend it feels good. Growth rarely does in the moment, but buried beneath the frustration, the pain, the disappointment, is a message, a new standard, a wiser way forward. You can resist it, deny it, complain about it, or you can ask what it's here to reveal. Maybe it's showing you where your boundaries are too loose, where your focus slipped, where your ego got in the way. Or maybe it's simply reminding you that you're not done learning yet, and that's okay. Because when you choose to learn, you rise above. You turn wounds into wisdom, mistakes into mastery, and that's how you become unshakable. Not because nothing breaks you, but because everything builds you. So whatever you're facing, ask the question with humility and strength, what can I learn from this? The answer might just be the beginning of your next breakthrough. 7. If I died tomorrow, would this matter? Ask yourself, if I died tomorrow, would this matter? Not to scare yourself, not to be dramatic, but to wake up, to remember what's real, because life is short, shockingly short. And most of what we stress over, the petty arguments, the ego battles, the endless scrolling, the chasing of things that don't feed our soul, it's noise. It won't matter a year from now, it definitely won't matter at the end. But some things will matter. The way you loved, the way you treated people, the words you spoke, the boundaries you held, the time you gave to things that filled you with purpose and peace. That's what stays, that's what lives on. So when you feel overwhelmed, stuck, or lost in the chaos, pause, step back. Ask yourself, if tomorrow never came, would this be worth it? If the answer is no, then maybe it's time to let it go. If the answer is yes, then give it your full attention, your full presence. This isn't about fearing death, it's about honoring life. Every moment is a choice. Choose what matters. Questions shape your focus, and your focus shapes your life. You don't need all the answers, you just need the courage to ask the right questions and act on what you find. If even one of these questions hit you deep, Don't just nod and move on. Pause, reflect, write, because that's how wisdom becomes reality. And remember, power doesn't come from knowing, it comes from practicing.